It was nearly 1 year ago today, or 1 year ago, when a gunman opened fire on innocent people trying to enjoy a Sunday night right here on the Danforth. 2 people were killed, 13 others were injured in a violent rampage that ended when the gunman took his own life. Well, for the first time ever, Toronto police are releasing a detailed report on their investigation in an effort to try and bring closure to the victims, their families, and the public. But some of the most important questions about that night still have not been answered.
When he left his home that day for the last time, that fateful time, there's nothing that we've learned to suggest that anyone could have foreseen that this was going to happen in the next hour.
Is it from that car?
It was a frightening scene. A man with a gun taking aim at groups of people sitting on patios, eating at restaurants, or out for a stroll on a warm summer night. 15 people were shot, including 18-year-old Reese Fallon and 10-year-old Juliana Kozis, who died in the attack. The shooter, surrounded by officers, eventually turned the gun on himself.
Stay off the road, police.
The large-scale investigation has finally wrapped after 11 months of police examining every aspect of the shooter's life. The conclusion is 29-year-old Faisal Hussein had no affiliation with radical ideologies, hate groups, or terrorist organizations, but did struggle with mental health issues from a very young age.
His background details chronicle a troubled individual who is clinically treated for violent acts against himself and an outward expression of violent thoughts.
The report says Hussein's behavior caused teachers to worry about the safety of staff and students. Referrals were made 6 times to the Toronto District School Board's social work department, and a risk assessment placed him as medium to high risk for violence. He began seeing a mental health professional, but his adherence to treatment over the next several years was inconsistent. Hussein was apprehended 3 times by police between 2010 and 2012 under the Mental Health Act, but did not have a criminal record. And 2 days before the shooting, he was arrested for stealing ice cream. Charges were never laid. Despite his troubles, investigators say nothing could have been done to stop this tragedy.
The day in question, through all the people that we've spoken to, the people that he works with his family, was no different from any other day. That is to say, he went to work, he was late as he's been to work, he went home, he was with his family, conversations took place. There was nothing that anyone has relayed to us that suggests to us that he was in crisis on that day.
After the shooting, investigators found AK-47 magazines loaded with bullets, among other firearm accessories, in Hussein's bedroom. The gun used in the actual attack was a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. In 2013, it was lawfully exported to a gun shop in Saskatchewan. In 2016, it was reported stolen. It's still unclear how that gun ended up in the hands of the Danforth shooter.
The one question that the family and the public wanted to know is why. Although we've collected all of the evidence that was available to us for this crime, a crime where the shooter died at the scene, we may never know the answer to why. And although today does not give them the closure for the losses they suffered, it will provide some, but not all, of the answers.
Now, Police Chief Mark Saunders says he has kept in touch with some of the victims and the families of the Danforth shooting, and he did show them this report before releasing it to the public this afternoon. If you'd like to read this in detail, you can find it on our website, citynews.ca.